Extraordinary story from Northern Ireland, and this too is a very unusual story. Sky News has now obtained CCTV pictures of a moment a man fell to his death after visiting the pop star Pete Doherty. Now, Marc Blanco fell from a first-floor balcony. Moments later, Pete Doherty is seen running from the scene, followed by his minder. Medical evidence now suggests that Marc Blanco made no reflexive action to protect himself. His mother thinks he may have been unconscious before the fall.
Well, the Crown Prosecution Service have now got the information, and as I understand it, the Crown Prosecution Service act in the public interest, so they should certainly look at it much more in depth and get to the bottom of some of these unanswered questions.
I'm joined now by Michael Wolkind, who's a barrister, is giving his services free to Sheila, Marc Blanco's mother. Mr. Wolkind, tell me a little bit more about the fresh evidence that you now have before you and why you believe it is so significant.
Marc came off the balcony and never recovered. The police began this investigation with the blunder of suggesting, the offensive blunder, that he committed suicide and they'd never recovered. And it's been Sheila's hard work that has produced the medical evidence and the scientific evidence. And common sense and all the scientific evidence now suggests what my initial instinct was, that this was an unlawful killing.
I mean, there was, strangely, a confession that was then retracted. I believe there was a full inquest. The police seem to have looked into it and then looked away. Presumably they were satisfied at the time there was no case to answer here. What's changed?
I'm not sure it was a full inquest. I'm not sure whether it was celebrity privilege, but Pete Doherty didn't turn up, so I couldn't cross-examine him about his account. But his friends did, and Headlock and Roundhill accepted that they attacked Marc. They threw him out the flat. They punched him. One of them set fire to his hat. These were people who assaulted him. So his first visit to the flat was unwelcome. He disturbed the drug taking that was going on. And then he dared to return. So who are the people that wouldn't welcome him back when he came back a second time? And why is it that the police have never, ever interviewed any of those persons under caution as suspects? Common sense says they are the suspects.
Where does it go from here? I mean, how do you raise this? How do you get the police to look again at a case that they have clearly closed the file on, by the sounds of it?
I don't know how I cure their allergy to crime. It's an unusual allergy for police, but that's what it seems to be. Every sign that it's crime, they turn away. You see Doherty's disgraceful behaviour, looking at the body, skipping off, going to a party, destroying a hotel that same evening. He didn't care as Marc lay there dying. If we can't get the police to take an interest, we will see those people that we say are responsible, at least in the civil courts, where we will sue them.
Tell me more about that course of action. How do you proceed with that if you believe that you may have to bypass the police, which it sounds like you're thinking is an option?
It's a different procedure. Sheila would like to and deserves to see those responsible, those against whom there clearly is at least a case, in the dock at a criminal court. If the police won't help, then we've got the options of a private prosecution, or we sue them. We sue them for assault, and the assault is their actions that led to Marc's death.
And you now believe that you have built up a sufficient collection of evidence now to proceed along those lines?
Yes, we have. I just heard you play the summary of Sheila describing the scientific evidence, and she's got it right. Where were the reflexive, defensive actions from Marc? They're not there. He doesn't curl up. His arms don't go up to protect his head as he falls. And that must be because he was unconscious. He's unconscious because he's been attacked again. Who might have attacked him again? Perhaps the people who attacked him once before, even more aggravated that he dared to come and interrupt their evening.
The fact that you've offered your services free as a barrister suggests you feel pretty strongly about this.
I do. I read the story in the paper. I saw it involve Pete Doherty, who makes almost as many appearances in the criminal courts as I do. And I decided here were all the ingredients for a possible miscarriage of justice. And I'm going to continue working with Sheila to see ultimately that doesn't happen and that instead she gets justice.
Michael Wolkind, we shall follow the case with great interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
British Airways passengers could be facing yet another Christmas of disruption.